Hi, this is BB. I'm sorry, I woke up not too long ago. There's something to note that I just want to share with you that I think might be of benefit to me and you. If something happens and the police or law enforcement starts to take you seriously for any reason, my advice is not to let them do any online investigation. That's not going to lead anywhere. These people are hackers. Most of them are probably super hackers, or they pay people to hack. They are people who twists online information. Mostly you will find, if they run their names, they won't find anything out of the ordinary. They won't find anything out of the ordinary. While against your name, they might find a lot of things popping up here and there. Like I said, one time I ran my own name, and this is the only, after this started happening to me, I just decided to let me check and see what's out there. And I saw that I was supposed to be on a government watch list. I called the Social Security. They said, just ignore it. There's nothing wrong. Called them twice, but there was nothing there. So this online investigation that you're going to want to do, this topical solution to your problem, is not going to work. That's not going to work. The best thing to do is, if you know the perpetrators, and I think that this is again what happened to me and them, because they were hacking me. And I called, for those of us in the US will know, there's something called Legal Shield. It's like $25 a month, and you get access to a law firm or any type of lawyer, and they will give you advice on what's possible for you and what's not. And I did call Legal Shield at the time, and they said, I asked them if they could send something to the landlord or send something to them to get them to stop doing this, to stop hanging around my house, and to stop terrorizing me. And they said that unless I have like pictures, unless they know exactly what was happening, is like, he told me flat out, I sound crazy, right? Like I sound crazy. And that's what they would say. And this is what they go for. They hide under this umbrella of crazy. They hide under this umbrella of crazy. The things they do is to get us to react in irrational, belligerent, and out of the norm ways. Things that is synonymous with a person who has a mental disorder, or who has mental disabilities, or is severe drug use, combined with probably mental illnesses, or a combination of both. I mean, one actually leading to the other. Because reason why is that they do a number on us, and they're just, I think at some point it starts to get the notice of whoever they're doing it. Now, if let's just say that these live streaming things are real. At some point, people who are watching this, somebody will have a heart out there, will have a conscience. One of their viewers, their pay-per-view, right? Or something. I don't know how they do it. One of them will have a conscience and say, you know what, this isn't right. It looks like this woman or this man or this young lady or this young man, they don't know what's happening, and this isn't right, which means these people are taking advantage of this person. They're doing something to someone, and the person is not aware of it, because this might be something a little weird, or it might be something a little horrible, or it might be something that's just the person's just going along there, and they have no idea what's happening. Or common sense would tell the viewer, this person would never agree to this. Something is wrong here. It means that they don't know. And they may contact the FBI, they may contact the police, they may contact their local law enforcement, sheriff's office, anything. They could do it as a tip, anonymously. Well, you know what? I believe that this woman or this person, this might be the location. I believe that something is wrong here. Something is wrong here. So that could be a possibility, right? So they would actually know that something is wrong here, because people do have conscience. The people who are doing this to us, they don't. Greed has taken place of their conscience. This feeling of being God has taken place of their conscience. They feel powerful. I like to feel empowered over self, over me, conquering every obstacle that comes into my life and still remain standing is what keeps me going. They are the opposite. Well, they'll do the same thing except to somebody else. They don't want to conquer anything. They want to anything within themselves. They want to conquer me. They want to conquer you. They want to nail us to the cross, as they say, or put us in the ground. That's what they consider an achievement. They have power over us. They have no control over themselves, zero control over themselves. If they did, they wouldn't be doing this. They don't even know what they would be looking at me, huh? They have no idea what that means. It's not a concept they grasp. They don't get it. If they did, like I said, they wouldn't be doing this to us. They wouldn't be. This is not normal behavior. Their behavior is deviant. Their behavior is illegal, immoral. It's a no-no on every level, on every scale, on every platform where you can compare it to something else. It's wrong. It's a no-no. There are no loopholes with their behavior. There's no ifs, ands, or maybe. It's just wrong. There's also no leeway or segue or anything at all. Their behavior should be black or white. They are breaking the law in every sense of the word. Every sense of the word, they're breaking the law. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or maybes about it. It's black or white here. It's definitely wrong. There's nothing they can say to give an explanation as to why they do this to people. No way in hell they can do that. That's one thing they say there's two things in life that is sure, that is death and taxes. Winston Churchill said that. And whatever these people are doing, I want to add this to it. As time changes, deviant behavior is getting worse. Winston Churchill probably never had to deal with this type of behavior, or even if it existed, he probably wasn't that aware of it because he was fighting a monster on a larger scale. At least that was a monster who actually was open about his horrible deeds. These are ones who are cowards and they hide because, well, they can never really own what they do. And even if they do get caught, there are going to be so many things that if the police doesn't bring up, they're not going to mention. They will never really confess until they're old and gray and they're decrepit and they're afraid now for their soul. That's when they will probably want to tell someone. Unless, well, the cronies, deal with them before that happens. But even so, they're not going to do it. They're not going to tell the truth. They will just give the bare basics of what they do. if let's say that they've tortured and they've messed with people and they've had fatalities in the past, if the police doesn't bring it up, they're not going to mention it. They're not going to mention it. So if something comes to light, well, they're doing this, they're torturing someone from a distance, but they're actually doing a lot more, like entering the person's home, and that doesn't come up, they're not going to volunteer that information. They're not going to say anything. They will take, that one. Well, they were out there from a distance. They didn't touch anybody. And they could be wreaking havoc in your home and you're not there. But they're not going to volunteer that information. They're not going to do it. Because they're cowards. But anyway, getting back to this, don't let them do anything, just online searches. Because they're not gonna come up with anything much. My advice is to go on foot. Go on foot. Most of us probably can't hire a private investigator, because I was saying Legal Shield told me that to hire a private investigator to find out what's going on. That's what he said. I have a feeling I'm not the only one who probably brought that subject up with him. He just couldn't say, well, I've had this before. But that might be a breach of confidentiality. I don't know. But this is what he said. Hire a private investigator. He didn't say, well, do an online search. He said, hire a private investigator. Let them see what's going on there. That tells me that somehow what I was saying, the symptoms of what was happening to me would classify and put this in a group, like a group. Well, this is how you deal with this. You have to get some solid information. You have to get some solid evidence. This could be something that's bad, right? Because he told me flat out. I mean, the words that he used, he was telling me, like, he said, you sound crazy. This is what they'll say. You sound crazy. Nobody will believe this elaborate tale. And he's right. Because I know, and you know, before you open your mouth, how you will sound. Because we're rational people. We get that. This is why a lot of times we don't say half of what's happening. Because we know how it'll sound. But then again, we're the only ones who know what these people are doing to us, and they're allowed to get away with because we keep our mouths shut. Because we keep our mouths shut. That's why. And what's worse is that these hypocrites, these Neanderthals, these horrible people, they know this and they use this. This is like their holy grail. To them, this is their holy grail. This is how they escape. This is their out. The more they do to us, that's how they escape, because we will react in certain ways that discredit us, that takes away our credibility and make us look like we're hearing things, we're seeing things, or there's a serious drug problem or alcohol problem behind it. And spritzing and spraying all kinds of freaking things in my home, do a follicle test or do a blood test or do whatever. They will find drugs in my system. I don't know. And that's what's going to piss me off, because I don't use drugs. I don't even smoke cigarettes. I don't use drugs. See, this is the reason why the spritzing and the spraying. Be careful with that. That's what they want to establish. We will come up with this bizarre tale, this weird tale, and in combination, they'll find drugs in our system. They'll find drugs in our system. They'll say this is just a drug addict rambling because they're paranoid, they're seeing things, they're hearing things, or some stupid shit. See, the people know what they're doing. They're covering all their bases. They know what they're. This is a business. This is an industry out there. This is a full equipped business. These people, this is a business. This is seen as a business. The only thing they don't do is probably pay taxes on it. This is an industry. It's a business. They're in the business of fleecing people and monetizing people. This is organized crime. This is organized crime. Because the people who are behind it are hiring a bunch of people out there and paying them to do this, which means they have to have that income coming in from somewhere. That's not their day job that's paying these people. Where is this money coming from? Where is it coming from for them to pay these people? Is either there's something in your name that you don't know about and it's out there. When you go online again, you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it because they hide it from you. Now they hide it from you and they can take it anytime they want, tap into it. You can't find it. You don't even know it's out there, but they don't leave it like that. They want you off. They just want you dead. That's what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. I don't get it. They just can't steal from us. I guess they have to torture us. So that brings to mind, this could be either or. It's either we have money out there. I don't know why they would want to kill us, but they would unless somebody says something and there's a weak link in their chain of command and they're afraid that somebody's going to say something. So they have to get rid of the only person that's the witness. That's the victim. That's the person they've been fucking over for how many years. And they have to make sure that he or she, well, is not there anymore, which would be you and me. That's one possibility. Or this live streaming aspect could very well be a possibility. I don't know. And I guess the people just want to, if they're seeing images through our eyes or whatever, they want to see what happens when you die. They want to see the last things that people see before they die. There's only one sure way to see that, Wait your turn. Or if you can't wait, well then, do what you got to do. But don't put anybody else. Why would you do that? Because if you're worried about a heaven or hell, and you are playing with someone's life that could very well turn into a fatality, then let me reassure you, you're going to hell. Because if you are wondering if there's a heaven or hell, and you have to do this, well, you're just putting yourself on a path where there's no way out for you. You can evade man's law until you die, but you can't evade his. Somebody will pay the piper at some point for your deeds. And it's not going to be us, the victims. Even if you manage to kill us now, put us 6 feet under, or in an urn, you will pay the piper. There's no doubt about it. What do you want to know if there's a heaven or a hell? You're just creating another victim. You're just sealing your own fate, basically. Some of them will go so far as to say, well, you know what? We've done this before. They'll do it again. This is how cold and callous these people are. If they've done something, and they've done something in the past, and it didn't, the person didn't make it, whoever they were doing it to. Because you and I both know how dangerous this is, and how bad some of these things are that they're doing to us. And sometimes I'm sure you wonder, just like me, how the hell are we still alive? How are we still alive? We don't even know. But here we are. And if they've had fatalities before, they're going to tell themselves, well, if there's a hell, I'm going there anyway, and they'll keep doing this. Anything to keep doing this. You know why? Because they are now enjoying this torture of us. Because inside they're getting crazy. Inside, this behavior pattern is rotting them. It's like rust on their soul. They're the crazy ones. They are the crazy ones. They are the ones who are screaming on the inside. They are the ones who are deathly afraid on the inside. They are the ones who are in agony on the inside. Now, that's not an excuse. I'm not feeling sorry for them. But anybody with this type of behavioral pattern, they're already dead. They're dying on the inside. They're dying on the insides. How do you think they're managing not to keep doing this to us? Because they feel so much fear for their own souls that they shut down. They shut it off. They shut it off. This is how they can manage to keep doing this. And they do it with the use of drugs and alcohol. And surrounding themselves with like-minded Neanderthals who just don't give a crap about anybody else. And then they feed off each other. This group mentality, this is why it's called gang stalking. This group mentality, they feed off each other. You take any members of a gang, whether New York or LA or wherever, right? New York or LA or wherever. And you put them together, oh man, they're on top of the world. You single them out and you catch one of them. And you just get him and he's like a pussycat. He may have a tough attitude, but he quickly just backs down. Because he doesn't have his group there, his gang there. They can't function singly. They cannot. They have to have that group mentality going. This is how they feed off each other. It's called energy. And because of their behavior, it's not something you can find everywhere you go, like finding a kind act everywhere you go. You can find it, sometimes they say there's more bad than good, but when it comes to their level of evil, there's bad and there's evil, and they're evil. It's only a special group, a select group, which in turn makes them feel even more special. Like they stand out from the rest. Even the bad people in the world, they're a cut above them. They feel superior to them. That they don't have the guts to do what they will do. La-di-da. That's how they feel. That's how they feel. They stand out from the rest. They stand out because they have, this is something they do because they've already crossed that line where they don't care anymore. It's not easy to kill someone. It's not easy. Even in a fit of anger, it's not easy. You see it in the movies. I'm just saying. The man is chasing them. The man is killing their friends or whatever. They hit him over the head. He falls. And they run away. They don't just wait to tie him up. They don't want to touch him. Because he's like outside of them, their energy now. He's like a slimy little... They don't want to touch him even. You see it in the movies all the time, right? This is how it works. They just want to move away from him. Because their energies are repulsive. Their energies are only attractive to people who within their circle. This energy is very, very fragile. And like attracts like. It's only people who will think like them and think what they're doing is normal and is okay that they will feel comfortable around. They need to surround themselves with people like that. But that's for another video. I just wanted to reiterate the point I initially made, is that if they find something and they decide to investigate on your behalf, that is the law enforcement, it's better to let them go on foot. Insist on it. Get a lawyer who will insist on it. That's what I would do. Who will insist on it. That they do an investigation on foot. Because most of these people will probably have a string of people like you and me behind them. Maybe not as bad, or some of them even worse than what they've done to us. That's what they need to do. Go on foot. That's what I would do. But the ones I'm dealing with, that's what I would do. This online shit's not going to work. looking for them online, no, that's not going to fly with me. They need to go on foot and find out what's happening there, who these people are, what have they done, and if there's more people like me in their past, in their wake. That would be my advice.